Welcome back to the Spiritual Business Blueprint. I'm Tracy Ann Rose, and today's episode is titled, What Your Body is Trying to Tell You About Your Business. Today, we're talking about how not listening to your body actually costs you money in your business. Be sure to stay until the end because I'll be sharing tips for wherever is bothering you in your body, a simple 5-minute exercise to reverse the energetic effects so that you're able to work with your body to break through that income ceiling. Please enjoy the episodes as previously recorded. I hope you enjoy. So this is a safe space, okay, for every entrepreneur. If you're here, you've made anywhere from $7 to 7 figures. You've hit income ceilings for 2 or more years consistently. You're on a spiritual journey. You want to shift your energetic patterns yesterday because being in business is one of the most intense spiritual journeys, whether you're building capacity to be consistent or you're running a business that looks successful on paper but is feeling like tight and restrictive and outdated on the inside. Nothing here means that you're broken. Nothing here means that you're doing it wrong. All it means is that you need a shift. So I'm your host, Tracy Ann Rose. A little bit about me. I'm a spiritual sales coach. I'm a speaker, author, certified freedom coach, and certified Reiki master teacher of over 10 years. I love supporting high achieving spiritual business owners, especially in breaking income ceilings and reconnecting with their intuition without risking their reputation, stability, or identity, especially when it comes to marginalized groups. So women of color, I love to serve, and I love to serve women of color's allies. So if you're an ally, you are welcome. I love astrology, human design, numerology, and I use all of those tools to help people identify their energetic blocks in business. So today we're going to be identifying the myths holding your income hostage by discovering how they show up in your energetic body and your business. So we're going to learn why these strategies stop working by using the chakra system. So there's 7 main chakras. I'm going to go ahead and give you a little spoiler alert. Your strategies aren't working, and it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're not trying hard enough. It's not because you're lacking strategies. Plateaus happen in so many ways, but you can notice them or identify them, obviously, if you're hitting the same income ceiling. But when you're noticing your effort isn't creating results, when you feel like your nervous system doesn't feel safe as you're implementing a strategy, that can also be a sign that you're either approaching an income plateau or you're in the midst of one. And plateaus happen when identity, energy, and structure are misaligned. So we'll focus on the 7 energy centers and the subconscious myths at play for each one of them and the problems that occur when those energy centers are blocked, meaning simply that energy is trapped in that area of your body, hasn't been properly processed yet. So we'll start with the root chakra that's at the base of the spine. It's the color red. And I want you to imagine each chakra as a circle. It's the color red. And the mantra is, I am, that's associated with this chakra. So if you are out of balance with your root chakra, you might be experiencing some lower back pain. That's usually a sign that we feel a lack of support in our lives. So if you're an up to 4-figure earner, so this is if you've been charging free 99 all the way up to if you're approaching 10K, but you haven't gotten there yet. This is how it shows up in your business when your root chakra is not aligned. You're offering Reiki readings or healing work for free, or you're bartering because you feel like you don't know enough, despite having raving reviews. And because you don't want to charge, no income comes in. And for our 5-figure earners, you fear that if you increase your price, that you will face objections. And you can't consistently or sustainably charge what you're currently charging and have a living wage. But at this point, you'd rather accept less than jeopardize a potential sale. So my 6 to 7 figure earners, you can get in this mindset where your identity becomes you're too big to fail. And that can create a lot of rigidity. So when this root chakra is blocked, you're afraid of destabilizing what has already worked for you. So you're overly reliant upon existing systems, teams, or specific offers instead of the new ideas that keep coming to you. Um, and you ignore them, basically killing a potential income stream. So when this chakra is balanced, you trust that authenticity is the foundation of your financial stability. And here is the 5-minute fix for this it is belly breathing plus a power pose, which I recommend relaxed executive or superhero pose. So to do belly breathing, first what you want to do is inhale through your nostrils. You're going to feel the belly rise. So inhale and feel that air travel down to your belly, feel that belly rise. And then you're going to exhale through the mouth, feeling that belly soften as you do so. So with the superhero pose, this is very popular, very common. What you'll want to do is firmly plant your feet hip width apart on the ground. Want your hands on your hips, your shoulders rolled back, your throat slightly exposed, your chin slightly raised, and your abdomen also needs to be exposed. And what this communicates to our body on a physiological level is that we are safe. It lowers our cortisol levels and it increases our testosterone, which increases our confidence. So that's why it's very important if you're going to do these poses to go ahead and open up the throat and the abdomen. So the relaxed executive, one of my faves, you can do this by intertwining your fingers together, placing them behind the nape of your neck, kicking up your feet and just leaning back. Once again, exposed throat, exposed abdomen, and deep belly breaths. That will change your brain chemistry and physiology, obviously, within 5 minutes. So your sacral chakra, this is the chakra of desire, pleasure, creativity. The myth associated with this one was what I enjoy isn't profitable. So your sacral is 2 inches above your belly button. It's orange, and the word for it or the mantra is I feel. So if this chakra is out of alignment, you might notice unusually painful cycles, menstrual cycles, digestive issues, and tightness in the hips. For my up to 4-figure earners in business, for you, this can look like a struggle to create an offer and stick to it. You get caught in this mind game of whether or not people will pay for it. So you end up instead just scrapping this 4-figure offer instead to charge Reiki sessions that you feel more confident people will buy for under 100 instead. And then my 5-figure earners, you spend a lot of time building out an offer and you work with ChatGPT on marketing, you write some scripts for your reels, your TikToks, but then you never actually end up launching it. You usually get lost in that pre-launch period is where it sort of just falls apart and you end up moving the date. So if that is you, that's a sign that you need to do some work in your sacral chakra. If you are a 6 to 7-figure business owner and you're feeling some discomfort in your sacral, you might feel disconnected from the original desire or purpose or mission behind your business. What like brought you joy when you thought about your business initially. So you start to just move through the motions. And because you are moving through the motions without passion, your audience can sense that energetically. And they just don't want to buy. Your results stay pretty much the same. You don't have that increase, whether or not you are getting more leads. Now, the chakra, when it is balanced, right, it desire becomes a data point, not a distraction. So the 5-minute fix is laugh your ass off. So I want you to set a timer for 2 minutes and do the biggest, loudest, fakest, goofiest laugh until it devolves into a real one. I would show you this, but the mic is so close. I don't want to like explode your eardrums right now. But according to Sophie Scott, CBE, FMed, Sci, FBA, a lot of letters, a professor of cognitive neuroscience at the University College of London, when you laugh, you get pretty big changes in your neurochemistry of your brain. It emits feel good hormones, including endorphins and oxytocin. Now, oxytocin is the bonding hormone. So if you're emitting that hormone, you're more likely to create these relationships and connect with people on a deeper level faster. So it expedites the no trust like process. And I highly recommend using this in any situation where you're feeling unsure of yourself, where you're really embodying that myth of what you enjoy can't be profitable. Like, where are you holding yourself back in your business because business isn't supposed to be fun? So your solar plexus is the chakra of authority and self-trust. The myth associated with it is I need permission, credentials, or proof before I lead. So this chakra is located below your chest. It's yellow. The mantra is associated with it is I will or I do. So you could also have digestive issues if you are not working well with this chakra in particular, or if you're having a blockage here. So that can look like constipation, diarrhea, feeling a squeezing or tight sensation in your gut, or in being easily fatigued. So to my up to four-figure earners, this looks like waiting for permission based on certifications from your coach. You just really needing a lot of validation before charging what you know your work is worth. And so, of course, no sales are made. And then with the five-figure earners, you guys have a lot of shiny object syndrome, no judgment, especially for my mutable signs. So it's a lot of changing niches and changing your target audience and your marketing strategy without enough time to actually test, get the metrics, and decide what genuinely needs to change and what is genuinely working. So, of course, that stops your momentum in sales. For my 6 to 7 figure earners, you have a fear of losing credibility if you change direction. So you don't want to get dragged because you changed a framework or you want to do a retraction on something that you said previously that might have gotten a lot of buzz in the past, but is not resonating with you in your journey now. So you stay small instead of being that leader and spearheading a movement. Now, the 5 minute fix is very simple, very easy. It is a mirror high five. So you literally high five yourself in the mirror because when this chakra is balanced, decisions, they feel clean, not heavy. So what you want to do so that you feel comfortable in making your own decisions is high five yourself in the mirror. And you can do this with an affirmation or silently. This was popularized by Mel Robbins, the high five habit. And essentially, what it does is it gives your brain a hit of dopamine in association with your own image. So you become more of your own cheerleader. You believe in yourself more. And obviously, confident business owners believe in themselves. I hope you guys are loving the episode so far and seeing how simple it can be to decode your body's messages in business and also how to honor its messages. So, if this sounds like something that you want to work through, this is something I often help my clients with, and I see a lot of in my business. If you want to learn more about exploring how to work through understanding your body signals, go ahead and check out the description below. Now, back to today's episode. So the heart chakra is a chakra of connection and boundaries. The myth is if I change, I'll lose people. So that is in your heart space as well as like your shoulders, or excuse me, in it's predominantly in your heart space. It can show up as green or pink. And the phrase and mantra associated with it is I love. So if you are imbalance in your heart chakra, you'll experience anxiety, heart palpitations, potentially blood pressure issues. And how it can show up in business for my up to four-figure earners is you tend to overgive. You go over on your sessions, you give out extra sessions, you give out free sessions to friends and family, doing emotional labor. And then you're too drained to actually put any effort into your business because you're so busy doing everything for free. Also, because you're afraid that they'll judge you for building a business and for setting those boundaries. My five-figure earners, you tend to over deliver to justify prices, which leads to burnout. So you put way more on your plate than you can actually execute on in a way that is sustainable and that's also working for your clientele. So you don't even want to market because you don't have the capacity for more clients, which is understandable, right? So my 6 to 7 figure earners, when this chakra is misaligned or out of balance, you confuse loyalty with alignment. So you want to keep the team that helped you build your business, right? But you've outgrown them. And they keep dismissing your new ideas, your new offers, your new branding and messaging, which you feel will be really resonant with this new level of audience and actually increase your leads, but they're not supportive. They don't see your vision necessarily. Now, when the chakra is balanced, you trust that alignment creates truer connection. And the 5-minute fix for this is to rewire your RAS. Your RAS is your reticular activating system. So it's trained to look for certain patterns and to hone focus. So instead of focusing on what you're imagining you're going to lose, right? A follower, subscriber, client, coach relationship, whatever that is, focus on how this moving out of your energetic field is actually helping you to accomplish your goals. And you can do this by anchoring in with a phrase. Mine personally is nothing's gone wrong, magic's afoot. And that just gives me a sense of like, yeah, it's all working out whether or not I can see it. And then I want you to think of 3 reasons why it is a positive change. Now, with your throat chakra, that's the chakra of expression and truth. The myth associated with it is I have to say it the right way to be taken seriously. So we've all been there, especially as women of color. Code switching is the norm. So the throat chakra is obviously associated with the throat, and this is the area that's also got a bit of the neck included and some of the shoulder. The mantra is I speak. It's sky blue in color. And you'll notice if you have issues with your throat chakra that perhaps you stutter when you talk about your offer, you ramble, you may have thyroid issues, sore throats continuously, or ENT issues, neck and shoulder stiffness. So for my up to 4-figure earners, this looks like hesitating to talk about your work publicly because you have trouble clearly explaining what you do or who you help. So of course, that does not lead to clients. My 5-figure earners, you have difficulty articulating the true value of your work, how it's going to impact and transform a potential client's life. So you tend to ramble, over explain, start teaching, start coaching, and you never actually say the words, I can help you with that, or that's something that I help my clients with. Let's set up a call to chat about it. My 6 to 7-figure earners, you get into a habit of repeating old brand stories, like so old narratives, and it continues to attract an audience that isn't ready for where your offerings have now gone to. Like you have evolved as a business owner, you have developed, but you're still attracting an audience that is attracted to the old version of you. And because they're not ready for your current offers, they don't get results. And then you don't get referrals and your affiliate numbers slip. So when the chakra is balanced, your voice carries authority without effort. 5-minute fix for this. You can set a timer for 2 minutes to hum or practice deep breath. Once again, you do the belly breath during this process. Inhale through the nose, feel the belly rise, exhale through the mouth. The difference here is with the exhale, you either hum or buzz like a bee. Buzz. And what this does is stimulate your vagus nerve, which is the largest nerve in your body. And that leads to calm, relaxing the nervous system. And so you feel more genuinely like yourself. It takes you out of your head and into your body. So the third eye chakra is the chakra of vision and intuition. The myth here is I can't trust my inner knowing with money decisions. So this chakra is located between your brow on your forehead, typically indigo, and the mantra is I see. So if this is off, you might experience headaches, lightheadedness, vision issues, brain fog. And in business, my up to 4-figure earners, your piecemealing strategy from free content. You're just Frankensteining together your business from content from successful coaches because you're afraid to keep investing in your business without an ROI thus far. And for my 5-figure earners, you guys can get into this place of over consuming business content instead of implementing. So this leads you to being pulled in multiple directions, not allowing you to master the area where your business is actually leaking money. My 6 to 7-figure earners, this is when you let your intuition be overridden by precedent. So you only feel safe doing what has been proven. So you lose out on new opportunities or standing out as a thought leader in a new way in your industry. And so when this chakra is balanced, strategy and intuition collaborate, they're a team. So the 5 minute fix is very simple. When you're in an overthinking spiral, it's very easy to confuse anxiety with intuition. So instead, I want you to co collaborate with God, the universe, the divine by asking for a sign. So you can simply say, if it's a yes, show me a blank in the next however many minutes. I use animals. You can use symbols, heart stars, whatever you want. You can even use words that aren't commonly said or words that are, whatever it feels right to you. But if you see it, take it seriously and take the small action on that intuition that you received. So the crown chakra is all about meaning and expansion. So the myth behind this is if I grow beyond this version of myself, everything will collapse. So this chakra is located above the head. It's typically violet, and the mantra associated with it is I know. So if this chakra is off, you might feel numb, depressed. You might be in functional freeze where you can go through the motions, but you're just there. You're not fully living. Chronic fatigue and overstimulation are also some symptoms. So my up to four-figure earners, what you might experience is that in business is that you're afraid that wanting money for your spiritual gifts will make you less spiritual or even selfish. My five-figure earners, you have difficulty envisioning a business that feels spacious. So you think coaching has to be very strict, very rigid, weekly 60-minute coaching sessions, when in reality, you could do bi-monthly, you could do asynchronous, you could do whatever works for you. But it's this inability to allow yourself to make more money without feeling trapped in your business, not getting stuck in that time for money trap. My 6 to 7 figure earners, you are feeling called toward a bigger mission or a different signature program, but you fear that honoring that call will dismantle your business and then drain your other income sources. So instead of focusing on how it will expand your reach, you're focused on how it will ultimately destroy and burn down, but you've worked so hard to build. Now, when the chakra is balanced, expansion feels inevitable, not dangerous. The 5 minute fix is to raise your frequency. Very simple. Grab some headphones, go on YouTube, put on binaural beats, crown chakra activation, search for crown chakra activation. Just close your eyes, and I want you to envision a golden infinity symbol that's coming from your heart and emanating out to those people, those new clients who resonate with your vision. And I really want you to notice the sensations that show up in your body, because that will help you to recognize in real life as you're interacting with your team, with potential clients, with potential partners, if it is a fit. Do you have that same feeling, or do you feel a sense of discomfort that shows you that they're out of alignment? Either way, you're going to know the truth and you can trust that. So you can break your energetic and financial ceilings fast. Energetic ceilings don't discriminate by income, y'all. I've helped people shift these patterns when they're charging nothing to when they're doing 5 and 6 figure deals. The difference isn't intelligent, it's not talent, it's not effort. It's taking action quickly. So the longer a pattern stays unaddressed, the more it becomes ingrained as our reality. But when you shift it directly in the body, the nervous system, in the brain, that's when things move fast. That's alignment. So if you recognize yourself in this video, I want to offer you an invitation to join me for an Energetic Insights VIP session. It's an in-depth energy clearing for entrepreneurs who are ready to move quickly, whether you're monetizing your gifts or evolving a 6-figure business. But this is for you, especially if you are feeling stuck right now. And we ship the patterns in real time. This is actually the reading that I used to kickstart my business. And everyone I followed up with had a major shift in their career within 2 weeks to 2 months. So go ahead and book your session. The link is in the show notes. There is limited availability to protect the integrity of the session. So if this is resonating with you, trust that cue. If you know it with you, Trust the queue, click the link, fill it out. am so excited to serve and to help you. Thank you for being here with me today. If today's episode resonated with you and you're ready to double your income, I invite you to join me in Soul Centered Success. It's a 6-month coaching program designed for high achieving women of color entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers to break through their income ceilings by tapping into their intuition with identity safe personal growth. You'll find the link in the description. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.